Hello everybody. In this video we're going to be taking a look at Unit 6 which deals with measurement. So we're pretty familiar with the U.S. customary units. These are some that we use on pretty much a daily basis. However, your formula sheet that you received at the very beginning of the semester has all of the conversions that you're going to need. Please make sure that you're using that formula sheet not only for your homework in EdReady, but keep in mind you want to get practice with it because you'll be allowed to use it on your tier test as well. So many of us can do conversions such as how many inches are in 2 feet, or if I asked you how many feet are in 4 yards. But when you start doing other conversions such as like how many gallons are in 28 cups, or how many miles are in 38,756 yards, those are conversions that most of us can't quite do in our head. So we need to come up with some kind of method to help us do these conversions. If you're going into any field such as like construction or culinary arts or anything in the medical field, being able to do these type of conversions are very important to you. There are many methods for converting units. I am fine with whatever method you want to go with. It's up to you. However, I teach students using the unity fraction method for converting units because typically it involves the least amount of steps. And I'm going to show you a bunch of examples. The steps are listed here, but I'll show you a bunch of examples so you get familiar with it. If you want to use a proportion, if you just want to look at your formula sheet and be able to tell whether or not you multiply or divide, I'm completely fine with those as well. So let's look at some examples. Again, you want to have your formula sheet right now in front of you because that's what you're going to need to reference in order to find these conversions. When I start out with the unity fraction method, I tell students to draw like basically a T-table. You're going to put whatever you're given in the top left-hand corner, so it's 5 miles. Now with this method, your goal is to cancel the units miles. So we don't want miles anymore, we want to change them to feet. So whatever unit you have in the top left, kind of think cross multiplication here. You're going to put those same units at the bottom right. Now, I haven't got a number yet. I'm just putting miles at the bottom right. Now, I want to change it to feet, so feet goes right above it. Now, what I'm going to do is go to my formula sheet, and I'm going to find what is the conversion that goes to miles to feet. So if you look on your formula sheet, and I won't write this out every time, it tells you 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So now it's a matter of plugging in these numbers where they go in my table. Miles goes at the bottom, so notice 1 mile would go at the bottom, so 1's going to go down here. And feet we've already placed at the top, so 5,280 feet. If both of your numbers, I don't care about the 1, but if both of your numbers are located both at the top of your box here, then you're going to multiply. If we have a number at the top and a number at the bottom, which we'll do in a minute, we're going to end up dividing. So if we do 5 times 5,280, we get 26,400 feet. Let's look at another example. I'm going to draw my little box here, my little T-table. I'm going to put 22 cups. Before I even look at my formula sheet, I automatically put cups at the bottom, and I put what I'm looking for, which is pints at the top. Now on your conversion sheet, it tells you 1 pint is equal to 2 cups. So I'm just going to plug in what I have. Cups went at the bottom, so 2 is going to go at the bottom, 1's going to go at the top. I don't care about the 1, all I care about is the 2 numbers. So notice I have a number at the top and then I have a number at the bottom. If you have a number at the top and a number at the bottom, then you're going to divide those 2 numbers. So 22 divided by 2 gives me 11 pints. Hopefully this is making sense, but let's do another example. So we're going to put 3 tons here, what I'm given. I'm trying to go to pounds. Again, I put tons at the bottom. So those 2 would cancel each other essentially. And then I'm going to put pounds at the top. On my conversion sheet, it tells me 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. Again, I put pounds at the top already, so the 2,000 goes at the top. The 1 would go at the bottom. If both of your numbers are at the top, so side by side, that's going to indicate multiplication. So 3 times 2,000 is going to give me 6,000. And we'll have some more practice with this in a minute. I want you to try these on your own. So when you're ready, hit play on the video to check your answers. So let's look at the first one. So you're going from pounds to ounces. So draw my T table. I'm going to put 17.3 pounds here. Pounds at the bottom, ounces at the top. On your conversion sheet, it told you 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. Since both of these are both at the top, I'm going to multiply them together and you should have gotten 276.8 ounces. Now this one I threw you a little bit of a curveball because they gave you 5 feet 11 inches and you're trying to change it to inches. That means if you're trying to change it to inches, there's no point in touching this right here. That's already in inches. We'll just add this on to my final answer. So what I am going to do though is change 5 feet. So I'll put feet at the bottom, inches at the top. Now 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I know I'm going to multiply these two here. So 5 times 12 gives me 60. Keep in mind, I still got this 11 inches that I had originally, so I'm going to add that 11 onto it. So we'd have a grand total of 71 inches. Draw my table. 4 gallons is going to go here. And I've got gallons, and then I've got pints. Now, I've got a bit of an issue, though. When you look at your formula sheet, there is no direct conversion that goes from gallons to pint. But don't worry. You'll try to find some kind of way to get there. So if you're looking at your conversion sheet, it tells you 1 gallon is equal to 4 quarts, and then it tells you 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. This just means that your table is going to be a little bit longer than it normally would. So the first thing we're going to have to do is do 1 gallon is 4 quarts. And then lo and behold, this conversion gets me what I need. So I'm going to keep right on going. As long as I have quarts here, quarts goes at the bottom. So I've got 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So now all of this is in my numerator, all of this is at the top. So I'm just going to multiply all of them together. So 4 times 4 times 2 is going to give me a total of 32 pints. And then last but not least, we've got 6.8 yards. I'm going to put yards at the bottom, feet at the top. So I know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet, so I'm going to multiply these two together. So that's going to give me 20.4 feet. Okay? Now let's take a look at the metric system. So the metric system is a system that is used in every single country in the world except 3. So the US and 2 other very small countries use the English system or our system, the US system of customary system of measurement. Everybody else in the world uses the metric system. One day the US is going to get on board. We don't know when that's going to be, but one day we will. The metric system is fairly simple because it all uses powers of 10. Powers of 10 are wonderful because you can either move the decimal to the left or move the decimal to the right when you're multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. So let's take a look at some very common metric units. So I think the US has the biggest issue with the metric system just because we're not so comfortable with it. So I always tell students to kind of relate it to something that you know. So a meter, you can think about a meter stick, is equivalent or somewhat equivalent to what we're used to, which is a yard. These are approximately almost the same thing. We'll look at the actual conversion in just a minute. Now a centimeter, if you're trying to think of something real world, look at like the width of your fingernail here, and that would be about a centimeter. Now a millimeter, however, if you turn like a dime on its side and look at the width there, that would be an example of a millimeter. A kilometer is a little more than half a mile, so that's something you can equate it to kind of make it so it's something that you're familiar with. In terms of weight, so in the metric system, a gram is about the weight of a paper clip. You can think of a kilogram as about the weight of a dictionary. And then in terms of volume, a liter, we're probably very comfortable with liters because we buy our drinks in liters. Again, things that don't make sense. We have some things in the metric system in the US, some things not. Now a milliliter, however, if you've ever given like a baby medicine, usually that's in milliliters. So if you take one of your common spoons that you have in your house and you fill it up just a little bit, that's an example of a milliliter. So you should have something similar to this lineup here on your formula sheet, and that's going to help you with moving your decimal to convert metric units. So this is asking us to go from 9 milligrams to grams. So find milligrams, now grams is in the middle. Notice you're going 1, 2, 3 places, and you're going to the left 3 places. So what I would do is take my decimal where it is at the end, and I'd move it 1, 2, 3 places to the left, and fill in my holes with zeros. So this would be 0.009. Now the next one underneath is asking me to go from kilograms to centigrams. So let me get my pen back here. And we'll start at kilograms, which is down here, and then centigrams is all the way down here. Now notice I'm going to the right this time. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. So my decimal's at the end, so I'm going to pick it up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to fill in those holes with zeros. So this would be 600,000 centigrams. Now let's do milliliters to liters. So let me erase, well, I'll just erase everything. So milliliters is down here at the end, and liters is in the middle. So notice I'm starting here and I'm going 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So I'm going to put my decimal at the end and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 places to the left. Fill in those holes. So this would be 0.002. Now hectogram to gram. So let me erase this first. Hectogram is going to be down here, gram is going to be your middle unit, and notice I'm going 1, 2, 3, or excuse me, 2 places to the right. Since my decimal's already here, I'm going to pick it up and go 1, 2 places to the right. So this would be 50 grams. So hopefully the metric system seems pretty straightforward. Again, it's just a matter of you moving the decimal. So I want you to pause the video and try these on your own, and when you're ready, hit play to check your answer. So this one, the first one, you were going from meters to millimeters. So notice you're going 1, 2, 3 places to the right. So I'm going to start here and go 1, 2, 3 places to the right. Fill in those zeros. So you should have gotten 5,000. This one you're going from grams to kilograms. So notice you're going 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So you would have gotten 0.008 kilograms. This one's going hectograms to grams. So hect is here, gram is here. So you're going to go 1, 2 places to the right. So it's 0.03. If I pick that decimal up where it is and go 2 places to the right, 1, 2. Now I'm just going to be left with 3. And this one's going millimeters to centimeters. So that's just a matter of going 1 place to the left. So if I pick this decimal up and move it 1 place to the left, I would then have 603.5.